only.
No, we'll be on the Twitch. We're right now. So hello, people on Twitch. So and YouTube if you're watching on YouTube as well. All right, let us do this. Let's close that up. All right. All right. Sorry, pulling everything up. Fail. All right. This is the Closet Geek, episode 116 for March 3rd, 2016.
Closet Geek, coming to you each week in Closet Geek. All things of geeks critiqued in Closet Geek. Comics and games and tech in Closet Geek. Lego, Star Wars, Star Trek in Closet Geek. We are not nerds, we have some social skills to call our own. Closet Geek.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Closet Geek, where geeks come out, the podcast where four brothers have united their powers to become the four horsemen of geek. To bring you the best and latest geeky news, I am one of your hosts, Barry Ricks, and with me right now I have Ryan and John.
Hello.
And so Mike will be here momentarily. He is coming home late from work, but so he will be here. Hi guys.
Hello.
How are things?
Things are good.
Good. Well, I mean, this is our new thing, doing every other week for the podcast. So hopefully you guys did some geeky things in the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you're exempt in certain circumstances. But let's go to the first segment of the show.
This week in geek.
This is This Week in Geek, where we talk about things we did geeky throughout the last couple weeks and things we love and recommend for you to check out. So, Ryan, what did you do? Yes.
This week, last 2 weeks, whatever. Nothing.
Nice. Just
No.
pretty laid back and nothing really going on, huh?
Pretty much. I don't have anything to report that's out of the ordinary.
Okay.
I haven't been playing any mobile games. I haven't been playing any. Watching. Oh wait, I watched something on TV.
Have you?
Walking Dead?
You watched The Flash?
The Witcher? No, the one with. Yeah, is that it? The Witch Hunter. Witch Hunter. Yeah.
Oh, Vin Diesel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How was
the
it?
last Witch Hunter.
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I don't see why the critics hated it so much. Well, maybe because
Because it wasn't.
straightforward fan
Yeah,
film.
it was just a popcorn flick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And I like popcorn flakes, so
Yep.
and I liked it too. It was good. The ending was a little cheesy, but they kind of they wanted to set it up for a potential sequel. I see that. But yeah, it was good.
good.
Cool.
Awesome.
I rented it. It was worth watching. It was money well rented,
right.
spended,
There you go.
spended.
Red box, $1.50, and call it good.
No, I paid way more than that because I
Oh.
did it through streaming.
Oh, okay. How
So
dare you?
how dare I? Okay, I
Anything
get the
else?
money to burn.
Any
Not really.
any prop work you're doing right now?
The answer should be yes.
The answer should be yes.
Should be yes. But
Yes. I am supposed to be working on things. I
get
will
on
be.
it, slacker.
Yeah, I know.
That's fun.
That's it exactly. Slacking.
Yep.
So
Okay.
that's it.
All
Really
right.
slow. Not much going on for me.
Well, John, I know that you weren't able to do much because of just circumstances, but
Yeah. I was in the hospital last week, but I've been recovering from my surgery this week. One thing that I have been doing is I have been reading the Star Wars Force Awakens novelization.
oh, okay.
I'm about halfway through it. Well, I don't know if maybe a third of the way, but I'm at the point where Han and Chewie just recovered the Millennium Falcon, and there's the confrontation between the Han and the Death Squad and the Kanji Club,
Yeah.
and the Rathtars being released and all that. So I'm like right in the middle of all of that. What's fun is that because it is a novelization, some of these scenes are a little bit more fleshed out than they were in the movie, and so there's a lot more dialogue. And so the dialogue between Han Solo and I can't remember the specific name, but it's like it starts with a G, the G something Death Squad, and then the Kanji Club. It's like so typical Han Solo, just the way that he's like trying to schmooze his way like out of the situation.
It's like, come on, I'm your buddy.
Yeah, things like that. And it's kind of funny because, you know, and I was kind of, because in the movie it all got kind of truncated, but in the book you're like, he starts really making some valid points that you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Why aren't these guys thinking about that? Because they storm onto his ship and demand their money back, and he's like, hey, I've got the Rathtars right now, and I'm on my way to deliver them. If you guys would just let me deliver these Rathtars to the king, then you can have your money back. But I have to deliver them first. I don't have the money right now because I used the money to try to capture these things. And so he's like spieling this whole thing, and just I'm thinking, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
But you know, but then they're just like, nope, we're just done with you. So so it just, and then of course, you know, the Rathtars come out and everything goes to chaos at that point. But it's been kind of fun to read it, you know, play back these scenes in my head as I read it. Other than that, you know, just my you know, typical mobile gaming. I do, you know, I still do the Star Wars and the Star Wars mobile games and stuff like that.
Words with friends.
Yeah, I don't really consider that like
we sucked you
gaming.
in. We sucked you in.
Yeah, because like all my brothers are talking about it, I'm like, all right, I might as well play. So
hey guys.
Hey,
Hi, Mike.
Anybody yet?
Mike's here.
Yeah, I had a long 12-hour day at work, so
job,
I was running
man.
late. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
have everything set up differently, as you can probably
Yeah,
tell.
the camera angle is different. We can see
Yeah,
Kathy
camera
there
angles.
in the background.
Yeah. So I got our new desk.
Oh,
so
cool.
I geeked out in my own way, but I'll let John finish. Sorry to interrupt. Because I
worries,
could
no
not
worries.
find you. I could not find you on Words for Friends, or else I'd be kicking
I
your
started
butt.
a game.
The rest of my
I
brothers.
started a game with you already.
You did?
Yeah, I started a game with you, and
It didn't. It hasn't prompted me.
okay, well, I'll try to see
So-
if I can
Yeah.
find it again. But I think anyway. But yeah, so yeah. Other than that, not really a whole lot. I have, you know, watched a couple of you know, Supergirl episodes, a couple of Flash episodes. I'm not up to date. I did.
I haven't watched.
shows-
I haven't watched this week's, but I watched.
I mean, this shows
last
you how
week's.
far behind I am. I just finished the last 2 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before they went on their
Oh,
mid-season
jeez.
break.
So
So I now know what's going on just as they are about to start the new, you know,
Coming
second
back.
half of their season is about to start in a couple weeks. But and that's kind of what prompted me to finally get caught up and finish watching the rest of those episodes. But that's kind of the story of my life. That's why I record everything, so that I don't have to worry about being on a schedule, and then I go back and be like, oh yeah, I never did watch those. So, but you know, life, that's what happens when you have a crazy household.
Sweet.
Other than that, nothing too major to report. Typey.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I got a mute.
That's okay. All right, Mike, what'd you do geeky these last couple weeks?
Sure. So, just keeping up on my shows, keeping up on all the anime shows. There's a new show this season called Konosuba. That's kind of that's the short of it. And it's a comedy, kind of another, role-playing game. A person gets sucked into a role-playing game. But this is strictly a tongue-in-cheek comedy meant to be just ridiculous. And so it's lots of fun. The SLC anime, we didn't meet last month. Which was the first time ever that we missed a month. So we tacked on an additional show and this month. So last month it was Howl's Moving Castle for the movie.
Yeah.
And I think One Punch Man, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. And then this month was Outlaw Star.
Oh, yeah.
And Vampire Hunter D, the movie.
Ooh, classic.
So
the old one or new
old
one?
Schools.
The old one.
Old.
Okay.
The 1985,
yeah,
I believe.
I remember watching
old
that.
school. So I need to just kind of review those, just because it's been a while. I've seen them all already, but I'm a little out of date when it comes to the Outlaw Star stuff. But gosh, so that's all my anime. Honestly, with work, I haven't had a lot of chance for everything. What? Oh, did we lose John?
We lost John.
Oh, okay. That was weird.
Goodbye, John.
Yeah, bye. So, but I am keeping up on my shows because of lunch hours and so forth. So I'm keeping up with like Agent Carter. That's been lots of fun. And then, so with Agent Carter, I've also been keeping up on Arrow and Flash. And Supergirl, I think episode 14 is coming out. Oh, and the new the continuation of season 2 for Gotham, the Mr. Freeze episode came out.
Welcome back, John.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, John. Yeah, so the Mr. Freeze episode was a lot cooler than I was expecting. Wait, no pun intended. But yeah, and then.
Can you hear us, John?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
He can't hear us.
No,
He can't hear us.
He
All
can't
right,
hear us.
well, keep
He
going.
looks lost.
Yeah, keep
But
going.
yeah, so I picked up a new desk for my computer.
Yay.
So I have a whole new desk, a new setup, trashed my old office chair, tore it down and stuffed it in the garbage. It felt really good to get rid of that piece of HUD.
Yeah.
So
Piece of HUD? Did you say
yeah.
piece of HUD?
Piece of HUD,
yeah, piece of
man.
HUD. Piece of
What is
HUD.
that? I've never heard that before.
What?
Yeah.
We say that all the
It's
time.
a Utah thing, I guess. Like a HUD home. Have you ever heard of a HUD home?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
piece
piece
of
of HUD. Because
Interesting.
HUD homes are usually really not nice homes. So it's a piece of HUD. Anyway,
Is that really just a Utah thing?
it might be a
Yes.
Utah thing.
It's a total Utah thing.
Okay.
It's what do they call it? A colloquialism?
Yep, a colloquialism.
That's
That's
funny
exactly
because
right.
I still say that.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because you're from
Utah.
Yeah,
I know, but it's just
Exactly.
I
You haven't
haven't
been-
lived in
you have-
Utah so long that
I said,
all those
yeah, you
things
haven't been
are
away
gone.
from Utah long enough.
I've been away for 10 years.
Apparently, that's not long
That's
enough.
not long
Not
enough.
long enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, see, you have an additional 10 years to go because you were inundated in the whole Rick's
Well,
College
Yeah, he was in
YU
Idaho.
thing.
Oh,
Idaho is close enough. You're saying
That's true.
it's
It's the
essentially
top, it's
the
the
same
top
dialect.
hat of Idaho, of Utah.
You have extra brainwashing to eliminate.
So, whatever. Silence,
so-
pig dog.
Yeah, so I've been playing Words with Friends, of course,
Of course.
lately.
Yes.
Been having lots of fun.
And cheating.
I
Mike's
I
a
would
cheater.
say-
just because I am good with words.
You're just good at Googling.
I'll tell
What
you.
word?
Well,
What word can I make with these letters? Type. Oh, that's a good word. I'll play that.
it's it's
No,
even
we're
easier
It's
to
true,
cheat.
there are a lot I will agree.
There's actually
I
will
cheat
agree.
apps that you
Yeah.
can have on
Really?
your
Oh, well,
Yeah.
no, I do know there's like tracking
Excellent.
apps with like
Really?
Scrabble. So Scrabble
there are?
you can put up
Weird.
boards and track like how everything's going. Kind of like how crossword puzzle people do the similar situations. But anyway, but that's been lots of fun. But the big thing is Final Fantasy 14 3.2 patch came out, and that's a big content upgrade. It was like 4.5 gigs of additional content. So
Wow.
Wow.
I will someday run out of computer space because of that game. So
Yeah.
I think all 50 gigs right now is definitely taking up a good chunk of my main hard drive. But it's been awesome because they do like little graphical tweaks and just little upgrades here and there. But then it's just all the story. That's one thing I love is all the side quests and all the story from all the characters, and just can't get enough of it. But I just wish I would play more often. But between family and work, those usually come first.
That's what I bring to the table of Closet Geek. I bring the gaming.
Yeah, but I am
That's
finishing
right.
up a book called A Brief History of Star Wars. And it's really just like the backlot story of George Lucas and the whole history of like all the first 6 Star Wars films. And so it was written in 2012, but it's really awesome to hear about all the strife and strain that Lucas had to go through because he really stinks at a lot of things, like writing scripts and directing. But it's been an interesting read because it's almost like a biography.
Guy.
Yeah, he's good at creating the idea of it.
Yeah, and well, even himself says that he doesn't enjoy directing, and in fact didn't want to direct, but felt that was his only choice to make sure that his envisionment of Star Wars happened. And, you know, despite what everyone thinks, he didn't like Empire Strikes Back because he wasn't around enough to have say. And so, you know, the director directed and everybody loved it. Go figure. Anyway, I'm getting off subject. Who's next?
Me.
All right, go.
All right, so last week we did have our first official The Closet Geek stream.
Ooh.
And I streamed playing the closed beta of Gigantic by Motiga Games.
Yeah, that game website hates me.
I have another key if you want it.
It's not the key, and
I know it's just
it won't download for me. Nothing I do
so
works.
Weird. That's lame
That is
because
weird.
it's lots of fun.
Well, you get it through the once you get the key,
You get it
then
through the
Windows 10 store.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't work
But
for me.
the website links to it, so it's just
Weird.
like
That's weird.
that is weird. But I played that for a few hours and streamed, and Mr. Lard, who's a friend of the show, helped me with tweaking my audio and visual and everything while I was playing, and make sure that it streams a little bit better.
Cool.
And it was lots of fun. It's a really super fun game. I'd much rather be playing Overwatch, but once again I was not invited to the closed beta because they just did another wave of invites and I was not included.
Oh, sorry.
I'm so sad. But
So sorry.
So sorry. But also been playing a lot of Rocket League lately. That game's so much fun. It's just and it's fun because if you don't have a lot of time, you could sit down and play a match, and matches are only 5 minutes long.
Right.
And so, you know, if you have a good 10-15 minutes, you can, you know, load up and play a quick match, and so that's lots of fun. I did a bunch of sweet kicks with bricks these last couple of weeks. I've had 5 different interviews, and like last week I had three interviews, and I posted them all out. And so games like Corrupted Kingdoms, and today I did Out of Context, and super fun. And one of the really fun ones I liked was the ABCs of RPGs.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is it's a children's book.
It's a book, right?
About basically encouraging your kids to take your passion but bringing it to kids on a different level, and it's super cool. And they also have an activity book for adults and children, like coloring pages and stuff like that. It's super cool, and and it's funded and everything. Still has about 17 days left to go, and they're doing quite successful. So that was a lot of fun to talk with them, and we were all geeky fathers, and so we talked about bringing our passions to our kids' lives and everything like that. And so it was pretty cool. Shows. I haven't watched Flash this week, but I watched the big reveal of last week, where you find out who Zoom is.
Yeah, don't say anything. I haven't seen it yet.
I won't say anything, but so I didn't see that coming. So I'm actually rather confused, but so it'll be interesting to see how they explain things.
How they play that off.
Yeah. So, and then I'm going to be starting reading Bands of Mourning by Brandon Sanderson, which is the most recent Mistborn novel.
Right.
And but yeah, that was me. Lots of fun, and next week, people, we will be doing the Closet Geek stream again. And I don't know, maybe we'll stream some Rocket League this time. That could be a lot of fun. Or if any of the brothers want to play a certain game and they're available, they could play with me too. So
That's right.
All right. Well, let's go to the next segment of the show. Did that play?
Nope.
Why did that not play?
I did not hear anything.
Oh. Well.
Broken.
It says an error has occurred with your playback.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's lame.
You're an error.
All right, well, it usually goes
the Weekly Geek.
All right. So, so this is where we talk about geeky news and things that happened in the last couple weeks, and lots of fun things that we could talk about. And I am proud of myself. I did all the show notes this time.
Good job, Barry.
I know. It was all me. All right, so lots of some movie news, TV news, games. Like, there was a little bit of everything this week, these last couple weeks.
Yeah.
So that was lots of fun.
Well, they did. One thing that caught my eye, really, they did officially announce the street date for the Force Awakens Blu-ray.
Yeah, April 5th.
So April 5th. So
I'm gonna buy it.
in a month from now, we will have it in our hands.
Yes.
And we will watch it again and again.
And I will watch all the extras.
That's right. So it's kind of interesting to see because depending on where you purchase it, there aren't anything necessarily extra on the disc, but the retailers are kind of offering different packaging or different things that. So if you buy it at Target as opposed to Walmart, as opposed to Best Buy. It's going to come in different packaging and that kind of thing. So make sure you check out all of the different options if you're really into that. If you're into wanting to get a Steelbook version, I think Best Buy is going to be the only retailer that's going to offer the Steelbook version. But I don't know pricing on that. So just kind of, keep yourself informed. The other release date announcement that I am super totally excited about today, Hello Games announced that No Man's Sky will be officially released on June 21st. And oh my gosh, can I tell you how excited I am about this game? I don't know if you guys even know what No Man's Sky is about, but let me tell you.
I do.
I have no
I'm
idea.
Super excited about this game. It is like space exploration in almost its purest form. It's totally open world, and the game
is that okay? I thought that had already come out. Oh.
No, it's been in development for 3 years. Is when they first announced it.
Everybody keeps talking about it.
And
it's the open
so
world.
Now they have
open
the
world.
official. Yes. It's open universe, but then also open planet. Everything is completely open, and And what's cool is the way that the game is designed is that they aren't like holding your hand in this game. So you really have to figure out what you're doing and what you know how to do things. There's no mini map that you can rely on and stuff like that. And they really want you to just go out and explore and just basically get lost and figure out what to do in this game. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. And essentially the game is completely infinite. And so there's no way, it's absolutely impossible to be able to see everything that the game has to offer. And everything is completely procedurally generated.
Yeah.
So if you land on this planet, if you're the first one to this planet, you get to actually name the planet.
Name the animals and.
If you come across a species of animals that's never been discovered before, you get to name it.
Which is cool, but it's also nerve-wracking because you're gonna get those dumb people that just name it like the most crude or dumb thing.
Well, but there are profanity filters, but people always seem to find ways to get around profanity.
You come across a creature, it's just all asterisks.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
You're like, oh.
So
Okay.
there are ways.
He was angry when he found this planet.
Yes, so they do have ways to help avoid those kinds of things. But you're right. The cool thing about this game is that it's technically a multiple player game, but because the game is so big,
you may not actually run into
anyone. The chances of you actually running into another person are really low. And the chance of you actually being able to team up with a friend in amongst all of those people is even lower than that. It's like almost a 0% chance of that ever happening. And so, because when the game is played, everybody that plays this game starts on a completely different planet, a unique planet.
Yeah.
Not just a different planet, but a unique planet. So. And there are like 18 quadrillion planets in this game because it's all just math. And so anyway, I'm super excited about the game. As you
Is
can
that
tell.
a real number? 18 quadrillion?
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
I mean, it's like so it's like 18 something. It's like even bigger than 18, but it's 18 something quadrillion games. But
I got news for you.
Planets.
News.
Yes. Gigantic is installed.
Yay! Yeah, let's play.
It finally worked.
Because they heard us talking about it.
You need to give me your gamer tag so we can be friends.
It's Zaxmon.
Okay.
ZAXMON.
Yep. Sweet. I'm Bricks2312, and they won't let me switch it because I don't like that about the Xbox Live thing. When you create an Xbox Live account, they generate you a random name. You don't get to pick your name. They generate you a random name, but you can choose to change your name once for free.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so, I created mine like way back when. And,
Sure.
And I'm like, I don't want that to be that. I want it to be like Sweet Bricks, like my Steam account is, or something like that.
Right. There already are Sweet Bricks, though.
They're not.
Sweet Kicks is what I was looking at. But yes, Sweet.
And so I'm like, but it's like you could pay $10 to change your name, and I'm like, but at least I do have to give that to them. At least they allow you to, whereas Sony,
PlayStation, you can't even pay to change it.
Yeah, you can't even pay to change it.
They've been talking about looking into doing that for quite some time.
I just don't see that's such a huge undertaking for them to be able to allow people to change names and stuff.
Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So something that I want to get everyone's opinion on. Something that happened today, which was the Ghostbusters trailer came out.
Yeah, I watched that.
I liked it.
I did watch it.
I liked it too.
I would have to say I was pleasantly surprised. I went into it thinking, okay, this is gonna be garbage.
I liked the look of it. I thought I laughed in several different spots. Like my favorite part of the whole trailer was her slapping the ghost out of her.
Yeah, the power compels you.
I laughed so hard. I thought that was hilarious. But I just thought like the ghosts and everything, they look really cool. I like the
They
look
do, yeah.
I like the look of their equipment. I thought it was cool how they had like.
It's amazing how the technology has changed that they can make it look so much cooler now.
I know. Well, I like how they like had,
but still,
they had pistols and then like
yeah.
and then someone else had like power glove or something like punching ghosts.
Well,
no, she had a pistol. She was just shooting it, punching it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
That kind of concerns me. I'm like, is it gonna be? It reminds me of the Ghostbusters cartoon series, where they had devices that would repel ghosts or dissipate them for short periods, but they still needed their proton packs to trap them.
Well,
so
they showed them having
I'm
the
curious.
proton wands.
Yeah, absolutely. And the trap was kind of very Venus trap-like.
Yeah,
it was like a bear trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a
kinda
bear
cool.
trap. Yeah,
But,
I liked it.
I was like, okay.
I think if it can continue this feel,
Yeah.
Right.
and what would be nice is, I don't know if there's going to be cameos.
Yes,
but
all the original
There are.
cast have.
did they get Rick Moranis?
No, he's the only
No,
one.
not Rick.
He's the
not
only
Rick
one that
Moranis.
has.
That would have been cool.
But everyone
I do-
else is
Sigourney Weaver?
Okay.
Sigourney.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sigourney Weaver.
And
Wow.
Bill and Dan Aykroyd.
See, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure about Bill Murray.
Yes, he is.
Well, I think he decided. Didn't he decide to do it in like memory of, because
Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis.
yeah, because he
Yeah.
died.
Maybe, but I know
Maybe.
that they're not playing their original characters though.
Right.
They're
They're
just,
not playing.
they're just cameo.
They're just cameo.
as,
They're just
as a
Oh.
random person.
yeah.
Ooh, I
But
think it
they're
would
not
have
actually
cool.
playing their characters.
But I thought it was cool how
That would have
they-
been cool to be Venkman,
Well, but-
retired and
But I
be
thought
like,
it was cool
you
that
know,
how they
we
they
killed all
kinda-
the ghosts. They were gone.
they
Oh,
kinda
now they're
paid-
back.
Yeah, they
Huh?
kind of paid homage to the original Ghostbusters, like 30 years ago. That's how the trailer, but now we have a new team, and so I thought that was
Well, yeah, I like
tasteful.
that it's the beginning. I was just like, oh, this is so familiar in the trailer where you're like, it's a class 4 apparition, and then she's like,
spewing
"Bleh,"
blood.
and I was
Like-
just like, oh, that's awful.
I know. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah, but
gross.
I liked it. I liked it. It was
Yeah. It was
you know,
fun.
overall good trailer. Hopefully, the continuing trailers, as trailers have a
Yeah,
tendency to
I mean,
do,
we'll
spoil the film.
Well, that's why I try to stay away from them as much as possible. But other movie stuff is the Flash and the Cyborg have officially been confirmed to make appearances in the Batman vs Superman movie.
The Batman
Yes,
Superman movie is going to be so
but-
jam packed. It's got to be like 2-second cameos or something. I
Oh,
swear.
Right.
I
are
mean,
we gonna? But are
It
we
might be
actually
at the
gonna
very
see
end.
them? But are we gonna see them as their superhero characters,
doesn't
or
say.
as their,
Or is it going to be Barry
or
Allen?
as is it just gonna be Barry Allen,
As a CSI.
crime scene
Yeah.
investigator, and is it gonna be, what's Cyborg? What's his name?
As
I can't.
a high school football player.
Yeah, like a high school football kid.
Oh, before he
right.
becomes the cyborg.
Right. Is that how we're gonna see them? They've never
Who
really
knows?
said.
Well,
didn't say.
didn't they already confirm Aquaman?
Yes.
And we all know Wonder Woman's there,
Well,
and
Aquaman-
Doomsday, and
Aquaman will make an appearance as well. And
But in what form?
But-
Again.
we don't know.
well, they have shown photos of his outfit as Aquaman.
Right. Sure.
So
well,
we know,
because they're planning on doing the Justice League movie.
well, they're already
What?
filming it.
One
Really?
thing that they did say though is they did say that Green Lantern is not going to be
As
in.
part of the Justice League.
Well, he's not going to be in Batman, Superman, or in the Justice League movie because they are doing a
There
Green
is-
Lantern Corps.
A Green Lantern Corps
Movie.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
And
like
then- and then
that's
they
like
will-
that's like 2018 or 2019.
I think it's like
But
2020.
then they're going to introduce Green Lantern that way. They're not going to pull him into the.
I just thought it was cool.
They're
just-
probably just distancing
begin-
themselves
Also-
from the other Green
Also,
Lantern film.
Also, Warner Brothers has said that they anticipate and are shooting for the goal of making 140 million in the first weekend of the movie coming out, and so they're projecting high.
It'll be. I think what's going to happen is I think they'll probably have a really good opening weekend. I don't know about huge. I think they'll have a really good opening weekend, but then I think you'll find that the ongoing weekends they're gonna because everybody that wants to see it is going to go see it that first weekend. But is it really going to be a movie that people are going to go back multiple times to see? And that's why Star Wars made so much money.
Yeah,
because people kept going back and seeing it again and again and again.
Well, it concerns me that people are, for some reason, just aren't into the hype of Batman, Superman. That's what I've ran into with speaking with some people, is they like the idea, but they're just like, well, I'll go and see it maybe with a group of people, or I'll go see it eventually. But, they're all interested, but they're just not like, I'm going to go see it as soon as it opens. I found that interesting.
Well, I'm interested in Deadpool, and I want to see it in theaters, but I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
Yeah. That's an example.
But I don't even know if you need to be worried about it.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to see Batman. I'm looking forward to Batman as much as I was looking forward to Star Wars. I know freaks a lot of people out. Like, really? But
I'm super stoked for it. I'm so totally excited for it. So.
And then Warner Brothers also has Suicide Squad that's coming out like a few months later. So even if they don't make a lot, even if they don't make a ton of money with Superman, your Batman Superman, then they're hoping that maybe they'll kind of balance that out with the second movie of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Suicide Squad. A lot of fanboys are upset about that movie, but
you know
I think it still looks good.
You know what? Warner Brothers will make their money in November when Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them comes out.
Well, sure, but
did you hear it's going to be a trilogy?
It's going to be a trilogy.
I did. Yeah, I was excited to hear about that. I'm like, as much Wizarding World I can get.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
give it to me.
Something that I thought was fun, and it's just a big rumor right now, but that apparently there's talks between Disney and Nintendo on partnering on making movies together.
Nah, I'll believe it when I hear an official statement.
Well, it's a rumor. That's what we're saying, but we're supposed to,
That's a pretty.
What would you think about that?
That's a pretty small rumor. I don't know. I don't know where you heard that, but and what their sources are. But I'm saying on that one.
Slamming you down,
no.
brother.
I was like,
I'm not saying it's real. it was to generate conversation.
Okay. All right.
Well, Sean didn't want that conversation.
Apparently not.
I think it would be interesting to see what they just, if that really does, if they're talking like animation or if they're talking about trying to do live action.
I don't know.
And what kind of Nintendo movie are they wanting to do? I mean, there's just, it's kind of hard because when you start talking about video game movies, it's really hard to take a video game experience and turn it into a movie experience that people are going to want to go and see more than just, I used to play that game, so maybe I'll go watch that movie.
Hey,
and I think
if they made an animated Mario movie, I'd go see it.
Well, yeah, because you're a Nintendo fan, and but how many of the general population is really going to go and see a animated Mario movie?
I bet a lot of people would, because they all know who Mario is.
Well, I know, but that's the question. That's the question. To be honest, an animated Mario movie doesn't really appeal to me at all. Now, if they did maybe a Metroid movie,
or what about animated Legend of Zelda?
Like a Zelda movie. See, that appeals to me more. But oh gosh, I had a thought, but I lost it.
And hello to Mr. Lard in the chat room.
Yay, all six of them.
All six of them. So, so something that I thought was really interesting is DC, who is king of television, is bringing a comedy superhero or superhero-less, I guess you could call, show to TV, where it's called Powerless. And what the concept behind the show is that it focuses on an insurance company that pays for that deals with all the cases and damages that superheroes cause. And
Now they were talking about doing that for Marvel
but so
as well.
that's funny because DC,
Because Marvel has an actual group in their universe that does clean up after superheroes. I forget what it's called.
but they have their casting now. Like one of the bigger name people is like the Alan Tudyk is going to be in it. And then
Really?
the main actress is actually is Vanessa Hudgens. She's High School Musical and some other stuff, but she's going to be the main girl. And then you have Abed from Community.
Danny Pudi, yeah.
He's going to be in it, and so you have a really good comedic cast right there. And so I just think it's funny because they said that they will talk about superheroes and maybe you'll see a superhero, but basically it's just and they said that it's almost going to be filmed and have kind of like The Office feel, but dealing with superheroes and insurance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
So they're
going to be name dropping all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Of like superheroes. Oh yeah. But it'll be fun because now they get to assign like dollar values.
I know.
and
It would be
everything
funny,
to what happens.
They're just sitting there like, thank you, Superman, for saving this metropolis, but once again, I have to pay for this building that you tore down. So it's just it'll be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah. I'm so sorry that somebody got thrown through your house. That will make your insurance premiums go up, though. Don't worry. It's only going to go up about $3,000 a year.
That's right.
You need superhero insurance. Superhero damage insurance.
Accidental superhero damage.
Yeah, especially
But
if you live in downtown
it does not cover
Metropolis.
acts of God.
There you go. Also,
does not cover acts of God. So sorry, Wonder Woman, you're not covered.
Also, some other superheroes that are being made into TV is Big Hero 6 is getting its own animated series on Disney XD.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was pretty excited about that because I really enjoy the Big Hero 6 movie.
Yeah, I
And
love the
I
movie.
think it would really play well as an ongoing weekly TV series.
Yeah, you could have
because it's just
the weekly villain.
yeah, right, the weekly villain. I mean, it would be very easy for this team of
Well, it's not like they have
superheroes.
superpowers. They use
Right.
technology.
They
and
just
so
have science.
Anyone can be a villain and anyone can be a hero.
Right.
So,
Yep.
Also Netflix is partnering with the anime company that does Titan.
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan to make a original Netflix anime series called Perfect Bones.
Yeah, apparently the series is about the trying to come up with it's about perfection.
They're trying to create the perfect human.
The perfect human, right? And so it's then so it's kind of it's got it's interesting concept because their ideas of the reason why they're trying to create a perfect human is in order to help keep peace in the universe.
Yeah.
And
but so essentially they're making super soldiers.
Yeah, and so what they're trying to do then is that they send their quote unquote new humans out for further testing, and they get kidnapped by an evil organization who's set on using their powers to implement their concept
Their
of a new
ideals.
world.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. So now you've got both sides with these perfect soldiers, kind of like the Universal Soldier concept, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, especially with the fact that they're working with
Attack on Titan
It's
people.
yes, it's called the studio's called Production IG, and it's the same team that did Attack on Titan and Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like the recent Ghost in the Shell stuff, like the Risen Ghost in the Shell,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, so it's really interesting. Oh yeah, and Production IG also did Psycho Pass, which Michael really liked. So yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see how it all comes together.
So Activision finally completes their acquisition of King, which is the Candy Crush people, for $5.9 billion.
That's ridiculous.
Candy Crush is worth more than Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well,
Because when Disney bought Star Wars,
only
they
for
bought it
four.
for what?
Four.
Yeah, it's $4 billion.
So
Activision paid almost 50% more than that.
Isn't that insane?
For a computer game company.
Yeah, but
yeah. What is this world coming to?
They're gonna make money.
But you want to know why? Sure. You want to know why? It's all because of Ryan's wife.
Yeah, because they can make money.
Because they make money off her
very easily.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so that's an insane.
Yes, she's one of those people that actually pay for grades.
It's an insane amount of money.
Yeah, not just pays a little bit, but So but yeah, it really is. It's all about microtransactions. It's really what
pay
this.
Pay $1 to get 5 more moves, so you can beat this level.
Sure, you're like, okay, yeah, no problem. I'll do that.
All I need is one more move to do.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. So
and when you look at like how many downloads, like how many people have downloaded those games,
millions.
It's like 10 million people.
Yeah.
Have 100 million people have downloaded.
And even
Crush.
if you get just 1% of those people to spend money, that's a ton of money.
Yeah.
It's insane. So, something that I wanted to see if John knew anything more about is there's this article about how we could travel to Mars in about a month's time with this new theory. Did you read this article?
Yeah, it was actually something that was proposed a couple of years ago that, where he just kind of, scientists do that. They'll just talk about stuff and say, oh yeah, if we did it this way, it'd be awesome. And really what it is it's just a different, propulsion. Thank you. Propulsion. So basically what the concept is that they use photons, which is essentially lasers, but they shoot photons out to drive the craft forward, and they said that because they can just continuously do this, they can reach like 30% the speed of light. Within a short period of time, and get to these
theoretical.
planets.
They need to create a probe that actually does it to see if it actually works.
Theoretical. Well, that's kind of what they're wanting to try to do. Is they want to try to create these mini probes and just shoot them out.
If there's some space debris at that speed?
Bummer.
It would totally shred the thing.
You'll have to make magnetic shielding.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem with going so fast in space,
right?
Because we can't protect ourselves from space.
Why do you think the deflector shield is so important?
That's right.
Like even like micrometeors and stuff like that. Yeah.
So,
right.
Talking about space, the astronaut came back. But everybody seemed to overlook it on Thursday or was it Thursday? No, last Thursday. Yeah, or Tuesday.
The Russian dude. Yeah.
No, the American.
American.
Yeah, Scott Kelly.
Yeah, Scott Kelly. He came back.
He's been up on the International Space Station for almost a full year.
Yeah.
And as part of an ongoing study into the effects of space on people.
And he has a twin who is also an astronaut, but he was on Earth during that period of time. and so they
Right.
can basically compare. And
Yeah, so it's a
but,
very unique opportunity where they can directly compare the effects
Like see the
of
muscle dystrophy and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
yeah, muscle atrophy. Yeah, and well, and just like he came back, he was 2 inches taller, you know,
Right.
because since the discs
there's
aren't
no gravity,
compressed,
so
the
your
discs,
spine
the discs were able to
elongates.
actually
Yeah.
expand and grow. So he actually grew 2 inches, but because
Well, he
of
didn't really grow 2 inches. He just expanded
he
2 inches
expanded
because
2 inches. That's
once
true.
he gets back to Earth and
gravity will push him back
starts
down.
pulling back down again,
Yeah,
he'll eventually lose those 2 inches.
That's interesting.
Right.
That's interesting though.
Yeah, it's just
But
you know.
yeah, he's gonna have to go through all the physical therapy to get back into
Cuckoo.
being able to walk without vertigo, and just
know
like
what-
going in the opposite direction.
You know what that
Yeah.
means?
Oh, it does it?
Oh,
That means it's time for not geeky trivia, but for versus. All right. And Mr. Lard in the chat room says that that speed, magnetic shielding would basically not do anything.
yeah, that's why you need a deflector shield.
That's
Gotta
right,
start working
deflector
on that
shields.
Star Trek technology.
Oh,
right.
oh, and he also said, fun fact: the astronaut, he drank 193 gallons of recycled sweat and urine during his time up in the ISS.
Yes, because that's pretty much where they get most of their water.
Well,
Is
gotta recycle.
awesome. All right. So versus is where we take two people, two concepts, two movies, or many different things, and we decide who is the winner. So Mike came up with this, and from a suggestion from other listener, that we would compare and verse George Lucas and Jim Henson as world creators.
Yep. Who's the most creative person to create their universe, as creatively? Was it George Lucas with the Star Wars world, or Jim Henson with the Muppet world?
Did you say Hanson again?
Henson.
He did.
Yeah,
He did.
Henson.
He
I
cannot
don't know
call
why.
him Henson for. He always calls him
I don't know
Jim
why.
Henson.
I
always.
do.
Well-
It's a curse.
It's
But thanks to Adam
interesting.
McDonald for the suggestion. So we're going with it. He
Well,
was really
okay,
excited
I
to hear
just
that
have
we were
to-
doing this.
I just have to say, I think that this comparison is kind of silly because I mean,
They
you
were
have
in
to
the
look-
same. They were in the same time period.
right? But you have to look at
There's
the
specific.
overall impact that their individual world building has had, and
Exactly.
how
Well, that's what
how-
we're doing.
That's what
I
we're
know,
doing.
and like how huge of
Yeah.
pop culture impact the world as far as Star Wars is concerned. And it reminds me of, and like you think about the Muppets, okay?
Yeah.
The Muppets in and of themselves are
Our
more,
world renowned.
But
it's
but
more
Jim-
niche.
But Jim,
It's a more of
No,
a
you say
niche
you
of
say
people
you
that
say Kermit the
really
Frog.
like-
Everybody knows who Kermit
but
the Frog
Jim
is.
Henson also
That's
did
true.
what he started Sesame Street too, right?
No, he
Right.
he did not start necessarily,
he
but he
provided
did.
the
He
Muppets.
provided all the Muppets
Yeah. So he was
for it.
part of creating that.
Well,
too.
but I mean,
I guess it has to come down to like
But
the
you also
bottom
have-
line as well. I mean, how much money have,
But you have-
like anything
know-
that has to do with Star Wars versus anything that has to do with Jim Henson.
but that's
you
just
know,
the money.
But yeah, but the money is where people that's an obvious indicator of how popular and how big they are.
But besides Star
to
Trek,
people.
what has George Lucas done?
Star Wars.
See,
Star Wars.
I suck at this.
Jim
My
Jim
mind is
Henson
somewhere-
and
in
Star Trek.
Roddenberry. Roddenberry
Yeah,
did
I
Star
know.
Trek.
No,
You're a
yes, I
fake
know.
geek.
No, my brain is
Turn
just
in your
fried.
card.
Well, I just think it's well, you could look at it like, okay, well, you had Star Wars and
Well,
Star
yeah,
Wars
I guess
comes
with-
in like waves.
But with
whereas
Lucas,
like
Well, let's go
Sesame Street has
achievements.
been around for what,
So-
like 50 years and
since
ongoing and not
since
stopping.
the 70s. Okay, so
Yeah.
so
50
Lucas,
years.
you have Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Willow. Okay, you have
Willow.
a few short stories that became animated film. I'm running out.
Holiday special.
That's
Yes!
Actually, George Lucas
Life
was
Day.
not. He was not involved in the holiday special
He
in
walked
'78.
the battle for Endor.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
See,
He walks from. Yeah, that was
Battle
he
for
wasn't-
Endor.
He also was not involved in that, which is kind of interesting.
I love those
Powerless
movies
Studios.
as a kid.
But
I-
with Jim Henson, you have the Muppets, you have Fraggle Rock, you have Dark Crystal, you have Labyrinth. Okay, and so I mean you have, well,
Did
everything else is
I
kind of
understand-
spin-offs,
I
just
mean,
like
I
Star
understand that
Wars.
Jim Henson's, the studio in and of
Arse.
itself, he does, the studio does provide a lot of, work for other various movies, like Jim
Right.
Henson.
Well, I was just naming off specifically his work, his specific.
Okay,
work
that's
that
something that's actually been done
His,
by the
that
Jim
was
Henson
his.
studio.
Yeah, that
right.
well, not just the studio, but that was created by him. Like
Right.
specifically, like Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, were his
Which-
projects.
Okay, right. But see, again, Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, as much as I love those movies, those are very much a niche
Yeah.
movie. If you get outside of the quote unquote geek world,
No one knows what they are.
Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, I mean,
I
some,
agree. Dark Crystal
some
is a bit more
people-
niche, but
some
Labyrinth,
people,
everybody
but
knows
no,
Labyrinth.
That's
only
not
because
true.
of David Bowie. Only because of David Bowie.
No,
No.
I know a ton of people that have never known Labyrinth, but I also
Right.
but it's interesting because I know a ton of people that yes, they know what Star Wars is, but they've never seen Star Wars.
Right, but they know
But
what
they
it
know
is.
what it is.
Yeah, just like the Muppets. People know who the Muppets
That's
are.
true.
And that's the argument is which creator of these worlds
But
is
what are
gonna
we basing the argument on?
who
The pure fact of arguing.
who will leave who will leave
Yeah, right.
a more lasting impact.
See, but okay, George Lucas already has.
But
George
so is
Lucas
Jim
has-
Henson.
Not in the same way as Lucas.
Maybe not in the same groups of people. Just like,
Like-
you said.
The world.
Ryan and I are just
Yeah,
like,
sure. The world. You have Sesame
Go,
Street.
John and
Sesame
Michael,
Street
go.
is worldwide.
I understand Sesame Street is worldwide, but Sesame Street doesn't have the same cultural impact that Star Wars does.
I could probably hum 3 or 4 different tunes from that show, and everyone will know it, and everyone will know the characters from
You
the
can say
show.
the same thing
Same
about
for
Star
Star
Wars
Wars.
music.
Da,
Everybody knows
da,
the Star Wars
da, da, da,
music.
da,
Everybody
and everyone
knows
will be like
the
Star
anthem.
Wars.
Imperial March. Everybody knows that. I mean, everybody knows Star Wars music just as much as they know.
But which one
No,
is going to stay
Sesame
around
Street.
longer? Which one is going to be forgotten in 40 years? That's the
Well,
question.
I don't think Star Wars is ever going to go away.
Star Wars 5,000.
Well,
Well,
and
okay.
honestly,
Well, look at-
Disney has already said they're planning on just making as many Star Wars movies
If you-
as
if you-
Well,
they-
yeah,
if you-
jump on the bandwagon when they can.
Well, and if you even just talk about the quality of the products that they're currently putting out, I mean, what Muppets has its TV show that not many people watch, and it's kind of like they've lowered themselves down to that, but
No, I wouldn't
Well,
say they lowered themselves. I,
mean-
think they're doing the same thing they did in the Muppet Show. But
But
I think
if you go back to look at the latest Muppet movies that came out recently, I mean, yeah, they did okay, but they didn't, they obviously didn't do
yeah, they don't have the same following. And I think a lot of that
exactly. They don't have the same following
Right.
because
No,
they don't have the same cultural impact that Star Wars does. End of discussion. Michael and I agree.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm having a discussion here. Gosh. This is not a debate. This is a discussion. If we wanted
is
to
a
turn it
debate.
into a debate, I would have came far more prepared.
It is a debate. This is versus. It's a debate. Lucas or
Yeah,
Henson
because
better.
yeah, when Henson died, I believe his empire
I
essentially
think you mean
died with
Hanson.
him. Shut up! I'm working really hard at this.
You mean that the boy band?
So, but but yeah, but no, I think his empire of the studio went with him essentially because nobody was really the same, visionary that he was.
No,
But
it was
Lucas is still around.
No, you
Of
can't
course,
argue
eventually
that.
Lucas, handed it off to somebody.
But it was Jim Henson's son Brian that has made the Muppets what they are today in the recent. He
True,
was the
in
one.
the last 2 films and the TV
He was
series.
the one. Yeah, he was the one that did the last 2 films. He's the one that's got the TV series going. So you can't say that.
Right, and he's the one who's maintaining Sesame Street, although Sesame Street moved to HBO instead of PBS, right?
And because of money, right? So I mean,
because
Ka-ching.
PBS didn't want to fund it anymore. Oh, I'm arguing against my argument. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, but what's interesting is, going back to what I was saying is because nobody watches or maintains media in the same fashion anymore, I do think, who watches morning programming or Saturday morning programming anymore? Nobody. There's no such thing.
They
for
don't have
children.
Saturday morning.
Yeah, there
cartoons
isn't
anymore.
children programming in that fashion anymore, and so I think that's the reason why Sesame Street started to maybe go in that
It was
direction.
never a Saturday morning thing. It was a weekly thing. It was an educational program.
Well, Sesame Street was a daily program, except
the other thing,
except for the weekends. Technically.
The other thing that you can look at is look how widespread Star Wars is across all media.
Yeah, Star Wars
Comics,
made a larger impact
novels,
when it came out.
TV series, spin-off movies, toys, even getting into. I mean, yeah, you'll find Sesame Street toys, sure,
right?
But not the same way. I mean, you go to.
But here's the question, though. Now we're talking about. Now the thing is now we're talking about franchises, though.
No, but that's
or
part
are we
of
talking about the people themselves?
But that's because George Lucas built the world.
He started it.
He built,
but he
so of
didn't
course.
maintain it.
What do you mean he didn't maintain it?
He didn't make all these extra stories.
It doesn't need to be maintained anymore. He created the world.
But he didn't
and
write.
Now
he didn't write the books.
Now it's self-propagating. But he created the world.
All right.
Now it's
he created.
Pause.
Okay.
Your argument is invalid.
I said shush. All right.
What?
Let us vote.
Oh, okay. No, I think it's gonna be unanimous, but it's interesting that. Anyway, we're supposed to vote.
See, now we should have done.
I vote George Lucas.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Spielberg.
How can you do Lucas versus Spielberg? They work together too much.
Dude,
half of their major projects that are good are because of the two of them. Sheesh.
I will.
Michael's getting red in the face.
I will end your phone call.
Just like that would be an awful comparison.
So,
not necessarily.
We can agree that they both created great worlds, but George Lucas has had the greater influence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I tried, Adam. I tried.
So, Adam,
hey, anybody that loves Luke or loves Henson, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Henson fan.
I don't like Henson at all.
I know. Their song, it just doesn't.
My children know Dark Crystal and Labyrinth like the backs of their hands because of my love for Jim Henson and his work. In fact, I even sat down and made them watch the Emma Otter's Jug Band Christmas because I love Jim Henson's work, but under this particular argument, I just feel that Lucas is a bigger
See, what we need to do is we need to do DreamWorks Animation versus Pixar.
That could be interesting. We'll have to
Well,
research
you
that.
can't do it against Pixar. It'd have to be against Disney animation.
Oh, okay.
Because
Why?
Pixar's in a world of its own. Nobody compares to Pixar.
That's what I think.
Well,
DreamWorks
okay.
has. A
Well, we
bunch
all
of
know what
great
side
movies.
John would
Speaking of
take.
Pixar, did you see the new Finding Dory trailer?
Yes,
I
I
saw
haven't
that
seen
it
it
came
yet.
out, but I have not seen
It
it.
looks good. It looks
It
fun.
looks good.
Yeah.
Did
I'm
they
sure
get
it'll be-
Ellen to do it?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
Pat.
She's been fighting to do a sequel.
She's the one that wanted to do it.
They
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
did it for her. So
She has a good following.
yeah. So that's it for the Closet Geek. Thank you for joining us. You can find out
Done. Clear.
all our information at theclosetgeek.net. And remember, next week we will be doing the Closet Geek stream with me, your wonderful host Barry, and streaming some games. And we will be back in a couple weeks with the Closet Geek podcast. And remember to go on iTunes and Stitcher and all those wonderful places to rate, review our show. That helps us get found a little bit easier when people are doing their searches for great podcasts to listen to, like this one. So, we are the Four Horsemen of Geek, and we remind you to wave your geek flag proudly. And my audio is still not working, so I'll
And
just
it's
do
not
that.
gonna play.
I'll just have to do that in post. I'll have to do that in post.
You've
So-
been listening
Yeah.
to Closet Geek Radios.
That's right. All right,
That's it.
thanks, Lard, for being in the chat. We love you, man.
All 6 of you.
All 6 of you. And we will see you in a couple weeks, or I will see you. I see you every day. All right. Oh, Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie. Oh, 2 Pinkie Pies.
Oh.
All right.
That's